Hey guys, I am Karma, and just like everybody else who is addicted to Final Fantasy XIV Online, I'm struggling to find things to do while patch hits. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the patch notes for 7.2, and I'm going to put together a tier list for you guys. Let's get started. Looking at patch notes, it looked like it received only nerfs, um, and that's okay. Dark Knight is already a really good class. I'm gonna give it a solid B ranking. I feel like that's honest and fair, considering how much I like to actually play Dark Knight. It looks like across the board, just about every class got hit with um, potency reduction for damage fall off. So after the first enemy, the damage fall off potency has been decreased on just about every class. Next up, we have Paladin. Paladin's big AoE combo took a pretty big hit because of that whole damage fall off dealio, essentially being a third healer in the raid party. I'm gonna have to keep that up there in B class. Um, there's an increased potency for Prominence and Total Eclipse. Next, we have Warrior. Looks like Warrior got quite a few buffs. We all know Warrior as the one-man army class. Going to A class for sure. It's not like top tier DPS out of all the classes or anything, but as far as dependability, survivability, and being able to even heal teammates, like it's pretty good class. Gunbreaker. They barely touched Gunbreaker. They gave two buffs to Reign of Beasts and Noble Blood. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up here in the A section. Didn't give any tanks an S class spot. Um, some of you guys might disagree with that. Let's see. Next up on the chopping block is Monk. It looks like they tried to balance out a little bit. They did the same thing with the damage fall off, reduction in potency after first target, um, on just about every skill, with the exception of Fire's Reply and Wind's Reply. So those guys are getting potency buffs, which they're already fairly strong attacks as is. I think it's more of a balancing out thing than it is a debuff, so to speak. So I'm gonna put that up in A class. It looks like Dragoon is moving up in the world. I mean, they buffed it and they are finally getting the respect they deserve. They've spent a lot of time being pushed around as floor tanks, so to see the potency increases, the DPS rewards for staying alive is exceptional. So, with that said, I'm going to put Dragoon as my first. No, I'm just kidding. It's still an A class. Ninja, here's the thing, man. A Ninja, it does have a bit of a sophisticated play style, but they are really, it's like they're pushing people to play Ninja. That they have done a lot of refining to the potencies with this patch. Um, with that said, this is actually going to be our first S tier melee DPS. Samurai. Oh man, Samurai. It looks like they did quite a bit of balancing with Samurai. They increased some stuff, decreased some stuff. I wouldn't say that it took a big hit. I think it's still gonna be just a powerhouse of a melee DPS. Uh, as far as its combos and its playability, it's super fun. Anyways, I didn't have the samurai icon, but fix that. What was I saying? Yeah, samurai. Ooh, yeah, another A class for me. Viper, they aren't doing anything really special with. They increase potency for first, second, third, and fourth legacy, which is Viper's big combo. Considering the simplicity, I think a Viper is always going to be a top tier class. Anybody can pick it up and learn it in a day and be efficient with it. With that said, as far as playability, simplicity, and damage, it's going up there in the S tier. All right, so Reaper, I don't know what they're doing to my poor Reaper, man. I love to play Reaper. It was my first level 90 in Endwalker. Um, they raised the potency of three skills. I still see it falling short um, in real content when it's being compared to like Ninja or Viper or sometimes even Monk and Samurai, depending on who's playing, of course. But I don't know, it feels like a lot of buttons for middle of the road DPS, and that makes me kind of sad. So I'm going to put Reaper in the B class. All right. Now we're getting into the range DPS, and this is going to be I got some salt. I got some serious salt. Okay. I absolutely love playing Machinist. It's so like explosive and um the lasers going off and the fire and stuff. I absolutely love it. So to see it take such a big hit in potency reduction makes me really sad. Um, but as far as playability and um, how easy the class is to pick up for somebody that's looking to get into more serious content and doesn't quite have like a main or a steady rotation for any of their classes yet, I think Machinist would be a great first choice to pick up. All the debuffs that they're putting on it for 7.2. I'm trying to keep in mind this is also my list for 7.2 specifically, not overall. So with 7.2, I'm putting it in the C category. It pains me. It pains me to do that. Before I keep going, I don't want to go too in depth with everything that is like every skill that's being increased or decreased in potency or reductions or things like that because I want to keep this video like kind of straightforward. For more information on what is going on with each class, if you want to refer to the 7.2 patch notes, you can kind of see maybe why I'm putting some of these classes where they're at. But I just wanted to kind of put that disclaimer out there. Like I'm not going super in depth with um, which moves specifically are getting, decreased or increased and things like that. Just to kind of keep the flow of the video going. Bard, it looks like it looks like we actually are seeing a little bit of potency increases on a few things, which is good. I think Bard has been needing a buff. It's already such a like thankless job as it is. So to see it getting some more uh to see it getting some more potencies is nice. I think it depends on the type of player that you are. If you're cool with hanging out in the background and, buffing the party and making sure everybody else is putting their damage out and stuff, then Bard is definitely a great choice for you. Um, but it doesn't really fit that main character energy for me. With that said, I'm going to put it in the C category. They did a lot for Dancer. They touched over several different skills. I'm not going to go into them all, but some got buffs, some got debuffs. It looks like they're trying to find a good balance for a dancer and really fine tune the class. Um, it's gotten more attention than Ninja did this update, so um, yeah, I think they're really trying to dial it in for 7.2. With that said, I'm gonna put Dancer in the uh, I'm gonna put it in the B category, and I feel like a lot of people will probably disagree with that, but I still think there are things that Dancer lacks on, and I'm honestly not the biggest fan of the dance partner gimmick. So I think B is a nice and honest choice for me. Black Mage. Oh, Black Mage. The rumors are true. They are simplifying it, removing the timers on the astral and umbral phases. Um, but the thing is, I feel like Black Mage is sort of backwards because it's available as Thaumaturge for Sprouts to pick up, but it's also one of the harder classes to master. So I feel like if you're going to have a class that's available for people to pick up, I feel like it should be um, a little more intuitive for those that are just coming into the game. Um, for the people that have been playing for a while, maybe have been around for a few expansions, I can see where it really hurts. Um, there's always been that kind of aura around greatness around black mages. As a class that has been so well respected, as a class that people say is like playing hard mode for the game. Um, I I do like the idea that is going to be more intuitive for new sprouts. With that said, I'm going to put Black Mage in the S tier for 7.2. Summoner, Summoner is almost comical. They they increase potency on two skills, and that's all they did. As far as versatility goes, having a summoner in your party is great. They got middle low DPS. They got a res, and they now have potency increases for Necrotize and Exodus. So, yay for you, summoners. As far as it being simple to pick up and still being able to put out damage and still being a versatile class, I'm going to put it in the B category. Red Mage. The Red Mage is like the new Black Mage now because Red Mage at this point probably has the most sophisticated rotation um, out of the casters. Uh, it's got the same, versatility as Summoner, with the exception of their cure being a lot better, but they also only saw two potency increases in their class. I feel like Red Mage is already pretty well balanced as is. Um, and sort of like Black Mage, there's bad Red Mages and good Red Mages. And I think the people that know Red Mage classes, I think they're kind of an asset to have on a raid team. So I'm going to put oh, that's going to be an A class. Picto. Picto, the class that every black mage probably despises at this point. They had no reason to make Picto as powerful as it was. Um, or they didn't need to, at least. But Picto is just an all-out war machine. And what I'm seeing in the uh, patch notes is it looks like they're taking the potency out of the motifs and they're putting it into the irregular skills. By the regular skills, I'm referring to like fire and red, arrow and green, water and blue. It looks like those are seeing potency increases where the motifs are seeing some decreases. So I think they're trying to balance it out a little bit. But I don't think the overall DPS for Picto's actually going anywhere. Overall, they're a powerhouse class. They have their own shield, they have a dash, and just about everybody likes to see them in their party. So us black mages might absolutely despise how powerful their class is sometimes. Um, it is another S tier class, in my opinion, and I think it will be for 7.2. So here's the thing. I don't know if this is going to upset most like healer mains, but they didn't do a whole lot um with adjustments. Um, each healing class saw two or less adjustments to their class, according to patch notes. It doesn't look like anything super significant was changed. I don't know if that's frustrating to the healer mains if they're expecting more or what, but the classes are already very like balanced. They all have their purpose. So I don't think too much has been needing to be done with those classes personally. The healer mains, feel free to give me your opinion in the comments. Let's see. So I mostly play Astrologian and Sage. Um, I I have them all maxed out. I play them all, but for the most part, I'm either Sage or Astrologian when I'm doing like raid content. I've I've heard it before. I've said it myself. The hardest part about learning Sage is learning the names. Once you got the names down, the class itself is very fun to play. You have you have your shields and you have your DPS for healing. Um, you have your invuln. You get your Haima if you need it. Overall, just a super fun class to play. It's very mobile. You have your targeted dash. It's very straightforward. Um, you keep shields up. You throw out instant heals where it's needed. You have uh, skills that increase the potency of your heals while you're doing DPS. It's a very great class. For a healer class, um, I'm gonna put that A tier, solid A tier class for sure. Intro is like really, I feel like sophisticated in a lot of ways. There's a lot of press this button to make these buttons do this instead. And I feel like for the amount of work that you have to do, I feel like it's a very busy class. I kind of feel like that's what's rewarding about it. But in like raid situations and stressful situations and stuff, it can feel overwhelming to try and keep everything going while still throwing your buffs out. And I know with DAWNTRAIL, they simplified the card system to kind of mitigate that a little bit. For me, I honestly think as a pure healer, I'm gonna put it at C class. And I play a lot of Astro, a scholar. Personally, I get it. You get a fairy. The fairy helps you heal. You, you throw shields out. It can actually be very strong DPS wise too. Um, I don't get enjoyment out of playing Scholar. Um, to me, it's the most dull of the four healing classes. Um, I hate to judge it so harshly, but I'm just not the biggest fan. With that said, it is still a very strong class, and you hope to see a Scholar in your raid party. Um, I would give it a solid B. White Mage is just one of those classes that are essential for any group. It there isn't a single instance where having a white mage is a bad thing. At least I haven't seen one. Running dungeons, uh, trials, extremes, savage content. Having a white mage in your team is love our white mages. I don't play it the most, and I'm by no means the best white mage, but 100% it is a great class. The amount of raw healing that it can do in a short amount of time, the sustainability, the power it has to clutch raids, 100% will always give white mage S class for sure. There you have it. Nothing made it to D or F. As you can see, I'm a very optimistic player. Even the uh, class I play more than the other, I have Scholar as a, a B class and Astro as a C, even though I'm not the biggest fan. You know what I mean? I'm very open-minded about classes and their versatility and their abilities to fill their certain roles. So this is it, guys. This is the tier list. This is my personal opinion. I would love to hear everybody's opinions in the comments to um, see where you would place your favorite classes, or if you think I got something way off, um, please let me know. I would absolutely love to hear you guys' input. It almost looks like, and this is, I could be totally wrong, but based off of what they're doing with the all the potency reductions for the AoEs, the damage fall off, feel like we might start to see quicker instances, or maybe the 740 gear, we're going to see higher skill speed, higher spell speed. I almost feel like they're trying to shorten instance times or something like that, and that's just a big like who knows. But just what they did with all of the uh, tweaking with the classes, um, I think generally that might be what they're trying to do, balancing all these classes out. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, feel free to give me a like. And if there's requests to do other videos, I would absolutely love to do it. As I said, I'm just, waiting for the release of 7.2 myself. So I've made a 40-minute video that I'm going to now try and cut into 20 minutes or less. So, okay, thanks.